All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. Oh my gosh, thank you for tuning in and listening. This is the debut, first ever episode of the Spot podcast. Going to cover a lucrative, a lot amount of topics, very open ended answers, one answer, closed answers, who cares, I'm your co host here, Yeezy Yon. Nickname just given to me. Don't have to go into it right now. We'll go into it another time. Also joining me is the co host as well, the awesome, the great, and mighty Young. Say hello, everyone.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is M Mighty Young, aka Killer the Man, Killer and the Man. It's nice to get this started. Let's give good conversation. Honest opinions. Just no bullshit over here, y'all.
That's how we do it. Of course, you can follow us on the social medias because everyone's on their phones and digital stuff these days. Link trees in the description. If you don't know what a link tree is, it's literally just a bunch of links in one link, so you can find it all in one go. So you don't have to scatter all over the place. And yeah, like I said, debut, really have an array of things we can discuss, but really, I just want to say it's going to be some spoilers, minor ones, major ones we don't know about just yet. Quick rundown, we're just going to cover all forms of media, music, movies, shows, entertainment, but it's going to be more like black entertainment, really, because that shit, that stuff's really rocking today in this world. We're going to discuss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen. We got shows like Power, which I was just put on 2 months ago by Ed Mighty Young. I
And I had to, bro. Your palette was very, very. It was very light, as some would say.
I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine and repeats of The Office daily. It was just like I needed to break the loop, and he's like, "Power, it will change your life, bro."
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The Office is not a bad choice. That's a show I love as well.
No, yeah.
From what I hear, Brooklyn Nine-Nine isn't a bad watch as well. From what I hear, so I believe you had some good choices, but I mean, I see now you've expanded your choices at this point, so which is good. More diverse. You have
I
a
will,
more diverse set of things.
and I will say next to Power, before that though, you did put me on the Snowfall, which I feel like it's kind of going under the radar sometimes for some people. It's not. It's a great show, but it's not like as hype as it should be. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? I don't know if I'm hitting the
Bro,
ballpark.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like in 3 to 4 years, I feel like it's gonna have more of a cult following than it does now because I feel like it's gonna gain more viewers,
No, yeah,
especially with how it ended. It gained a lot of like new viewers, like second half of the show. But I feel like within these coming years, like I expect it to have, I expect more people to like rave about it. So it's I feel like it's soon it's gonna be out of like it's not gonna be main it's soon it's still, I mean, it's kind of mainstreamish a little bit to me now, but because I feel like a lot of people know about it, but I feel like I feel like more people should have tuned in, like, than how many people actually tuned into it.
and I will say, like, with the, I mean, here's the thing: I wasn't watching it live, and it was like what 2017, I think, when it first came out, right?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, and I wasn't watching it live, but I think back, and it maintains that heavy promotion because it was on FX and it was on Hulu, but it didn't reach a certain, you know what I mean? Like it's been talked about. Don't get me wrong. Reddit and other threads online have those discussions, but when it comes to other shows, and again in black forms entertainment, Snowfall doesn't feel like it's at the level it should be with other talked about shows. We're outside of black entertainment, say Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, those kind of shows. I think Snowfall should be talked about in that degree, and it's not.
No,
And like
definitely, bro.
shows, you got those shows where it has those endings where it looks bad for the protagonist, but it's still open ended. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what actually happens. There are these things where the writers of these shows specifically, like I said, I'm putting Snowfall in these categories of top tier writing. It's impossible to deny that Snowfall just gives you so many, views on what a show should be rather than kind of following the normal structure of other these popular shows. I don't know. It's just hard to explain and put my words on it, but I just feel like Snowfall should be getting more recognition than what it is right now.
No, definitely. Like that's a show that peaked kind of late, I feel like, in most people's eyes, even
It
for the people that started watching it from the beginning, but I feel like I said earlier, like it's gonna catch more eyes in the coming years. The viewership's gonna, it's gonna attract more viewership, especially with the success of Damson Idris, and pretty sure a lot of the other actors and
yeah,
actresses that
John.
gained,
Well, you,
gained a lot of, notoriety from the show. Like I feel like in the coming years it's gonna get that. If it doesn't, then it'll be a crime, in my opinion.
when you say Jameson, I just think there's. I mean, I can't think of the actors off the top of my head. I know a few. Melvin Gregg, I believe, or he wasn't he man boy? Yeah, his man boy, I
Yeah, it's
think.
man boy. DeAndre Bonds is that's Scully.
And I was gonna say Isaiah John Leon. So those characters they evolved. Don't worry, we'll let the audience hear it all. We're not editing it out, people.
Oh, you're a
Don't worry.
crazy guy.
No, but for real, there are things we're going to talk about. I just want to cover the first since the debut episode real quick. The things that we're not going to get to, we still have more time to get to. This isn't the only episode at the end of the day. There's no real scheduled drops, meaning like there's no specified days we're going to drop. It's really just whenever we feel like we want an idea that we want you all to hear, really have it at your disposal type thing, and really just make sure it's on all social media. But I guess without spoiling too much, let's just go into Power real quick. Can we talk about Ghost? Let's talk about Omari's acting real quick.
Oh
He
man,
carried, he
amazing.
carried, and I mean, it's hard to say a one character carries an entire show, especially the span of 6 seasons.
Man, it's
Like
it's crazy because there's a lot of characters that make up that show, and like especially the makeup of like theme of it. But it's so crazy how it could revolve around one character, one actor, like like Amari Hardwick. Continue.
exactly in terms of like with Ghost, like I mean, it's just like Ghost is a main character. Can you find someone who's equally, I guess, equally as ambitious and smart as him? Because what is smart in a show? You know what I mean? It just depends on the environment you're in and
That's
using it.
facts. Facts.
And you got to tie into different characters. You got Tony Soprano, New Jersey Mob, early 2000s as well. He's got to utilize tools he's got to use, with the payphones and all that. Same thing with Ghost. He's, what is it, 2015 at least, right? 2014 takes place. And, so forth with technology at hand, they got to, utilize that. Snowfall takes place in the 80s. So you got that thing where, they're just trying to play with their environment and use that. And I think the characters, or the writing, I guess, showed the characters what it's like to evolve throughout the show while adapting to their environment constantly, like
Very
consistently.
literally, that's how I feel as well. Like we usually see, like I feel like that's every show where in a way where like the protagonists in a way like they get out of their zone, and then like future seasons like they adjust to like the environment, situations of their situation, to whatever happens, whatever conflict or whatever like action like is taken. Like I feel like they adjust to that, if you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to find
I
the
mean,
right word.
again, that's what's it's really hard to do. I know words are just, there's so many words nowadays. Honestly, I mean, I feel like words are just being made up every day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Just
trying to
have to
find
do.
the right ones instead of just making shit up, and like all these other people are doing nowadays.
No, it's just I mean, there's just so much to discuss. Really, again, without spoiling to the audience. Yeah, no, I mean, I would recommend watching Power. Entirely great show. 50 Cent knows what he's doing. I'll just say that right now. He's making Stars a lot of money, I'm sure. And I mean, Stars is a streaming service, which is where you can watch Power. But
Yeah, no, that's
it's
facts. Especially a lot of he's making stars a whole lot of money, man. Especially us, man. He's making suckers out of us.
nah, he knows the Power universe runs forever, and he's right. It's crazy. The fact that there's multiple series based off each other is crazy. It's actually amazing. I don't think I've seen a show like that. I mean, you got Star Wars, but it's a movie, right? You know what I mean? where they have different episodes and stuff like that. But Power just
I mean, there's like Marvel. I mean, there's a few we could say we could compare like the Power universe to, but I feel like you said, like it's very complex.
no, it's definitely. I mean, it's just it. Power is just one of those shows that you really just got to pay attention to every detail. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, because if you miss one little thing, like especially when a major issue or like a major like sequence happens in the show, like you'll get lost in the sauce sometimes, because you'll miss that small detail that happened like in 202 or episode like 3 of season 5, like just that little detail you miss, about
Remember,
somebody
remember
doing this, somebody like drinking like a tad bit of Kool-Aid, and then that's just for example, just in any show.
no, yeah, we were definitely. I remember we were talking about it before at one point. Michael J. Ferguson, 2-bit Power.
Yeah.
I remember we said like, yeah, I didn't really notice. I had to rewatch the show to see that he was actually way introduced earlier in the show than I anticipated. Well, at least than I remembered anyway. And it's just one of those things where again, you gotta if you just rewatch the show, like typically, like I said with me in The Office, I've rewatched the show so many times, but I feel like every time I watch it, I just find something new. You know what I mean? Like some new detail, some dialogue that I might have missed or something. And especially, I can't stress this enough when you're watching shows like Power. Uh, just watch the show. Don't do something and listen to it in the background. You want to watch the show. You got to catch facial reactions. You know what I mean? Like when people say something and how people react to something, or if someone overheard something but you don't know, you're gonna miss that little detail. It's important. I mean, when it comes to show like these with drama, you always have to have someone listening around the corner, to kind of give it some plot or something like that.
Yeah, especially like soap operas, like Empire is such, even though Empire is a show that's currently looked at as watered down,
Hey,
because of
bro,
like, I feel like most of that is because of the network it's on, because it's on Fox,
I don't
you
blame
know?
Fox. Ain't that bad.
I mean, I'm not saying Fox is a bad channel, but Fox is a channel where it limits shows to such, unlike Stars. Stars has a lot of freedom, you know? Like as a premium channel, people pay to watch Stars. It's like it's free, right? I mean, from what I
Yeah,
know, from
true.
from growing up, from what I know, I mean, from what I used to see from on the TV screen, like I
No,
never
yeah,
used to pay for Fox. So, I
get
mean,
those. Yeah.
Fox programming was like always like family friendly. So I feel like it'll be different if Empire was on Stars and Power was on Fox, So
Oh,
switching networks,
if
I feel like it definitely would have impacted the shows, 100%.
question. Okay, I gotta really diverge here because we all know Power was on Stars. Do you think it would have more success on HBO or Fox?
I'm gonna have to go with HBO.
HBO.
I
Okay.
feel like HBO would have been more than Stars as well.
Now,
HBO is like the crown jewel of television, of like television, of shows, just movie selections. It's just like I don't know, like HBO is just they never fail. Like it's like a never ending product, with like amazing content. Along with Showtime. Showtime is came a long way as well, but I feel like if Power was on HBO, it would have probably been the greatest show ever, like number one. No question.
yeah, definitely. I mean, when you go back to HBO standards, I mean, like I said, I'm a big Soprano nut. Where we love Sopranos over here on the spot. Sopranos.
Yeah, and same with me, and for the people that watch The Wire, if you know, you know.
I'm 3 episodes in, and I love it so far.
Yeah, man, it's a show that I think I watched that show like 6, 7 times, like every single season. I don't know. That's a show that I just don't ever get bored of. It's just, if you know, you know, like I said.
Exactly. Shout out Wood Harris, bro. Wire's lit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out The Wire. Shout out
No.
all the shows on The Wire.
All right, but get this. I'm gonna read the description of Power. Right. Just get this. Let's just go through it real quick. So,
Hmm.
Power. tells the story of James St. Patrick, an intelligent, smooth, yet ruthless drug dealer who goes by the alias of Ghost. He wishes to leave the criminal world to pursue legitimate business interests as a nightclub owner. St. Patrick aims to balance those two lives while also avoiding police capture, trying to navigate his crumbling marriage and manage shifting economic alliances. So, just that paragraph already raises so many questions. How the fuck are you going to be a drug dealer while owning a nightclub and avoiding police and two lives and crumbling marriage and all that stuff? It sounds like a more challenging Sopranos. Like
No, that's what I'm saying, man.
Tony
It's like a
owns
do
multiple.
over with like a different, a different culture, like different races. It feels like it's just a do over with the Sopranos, just like a typical like show with like the protagonist, the family, with the best friend, with the crew, top of the world, and then life just falls apart. It just feels, even though they're all have their own storylines, the writing is just never gets boring, like just shout out to the writers, by the way. They're what I feel like they're what makes they are exactly what makes these shows like go like they're what makes the entertainment industry spark because of these ideas they come up with, like it's just crazy.
Get this. The show features James's family, which consists of his wife Tasha, twins Tariq and Raina, baby Yasmin as well. Power also follows James' criminal partner and best friend, Tommy or Thomas Egan, love interest, Angela Valdez, and a person and a friend named Kanan Stark. Now, already you're kind of just with that description, and that's not really a spoiler per se. If anyone's gonna get mad at me, it's already on description for Power. It's the introduction, so it's already been there. But I mean, you're already just like wondering like what's going on already. He's got his whole family and he's already dealing with this one person. It's just Power. It says here, Power utilizes episodic cliffhangers as plot devices to carry its story forward. I cannot stress that enough. That is 100% correct. I binged a whole season straight in one sitting just because I had to finish it. Had to see what was going on. That captivating. Like you watched it live though, right? You kind of how did you feel waiting? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like literally, like once I started watching this show back in 2014, 2015, it was just captivating because I feel like watching it at such a young age is different from watching it when you're like in your 20s because like everything is just fresh. Like every scene to me was fresh, like everything, like it was just a different, like the writing at the time for me, like this it was all like fresh to me, like it's just like the way things were done, the way things were, were handled, the way things were shot, like the cinematography, just I don't know, like it was just mind-boggling to me, just seeing like how shows can be so like they can like how these writers can have like ideas that are like too like far-fetched but they work. It's just crazy.
And is it is it wrong? Like I'm sure everyone has this reaction too with shows. When you just get mad at like that character in the show, but you don't know whether to get mad at the writer for making it this way. You know what I mean? Like that whole feeling of who do I get mad at? Do I get mad at the writers for making it this way? And sometimes I love shows that do that. You know what I mean? They get you in that emotional state to react heavily. Like screw you so and so or screw you so and so. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have this emotional tie to the show or a character, and like I said, Power does that great job of like really grabbing you to it.
No, definitely, and like also like one thing I love is like it can change like it can change the way you feel about a character in an instant. Especially with movies and TV shows. That's what I love about them. Is like you'll feel one way about a character, and then they'll write it in a way where something will happen, and then it'll change the way you feel about that character, whether you like them or you hate them. You know, like your emotions, like you said, your emotions very, very heavily involved when you're involved when you're watching entertainment. It's just very. It's just. I don't know. It's just like it's like your mind's playing tricks on you.
No, actually, like shows do a great job of taking us on a journey. You know what I mean? Um, in terms of throughout the whole season or throughout the whole show, and at the end of the day, I think like what is it? What's the phrase go? It's not about the journey. It's all about the journey. It's not the destination or something like that. And we, at the viewers, we just want to get from point A to point B. You know, season premiere, season finale, or hopefully forbid series finale. And I think obviously every show, everything's gonna have its crazy trips because is a show really a show if it doesn't have that? You know what I mean? Even you can take The Simpsons or Family Guy or anything that's not like linear in terms of like a whole season. It's just random plots throughout. It's resolved in like what 20 minutes. You know, I mean, with those ones, like you don't really,
Oh my gosh,
you
bro! You
know,
that those were the good old days when our minds were so simple and we just like we didn't care about a storyline. We just wanted to watch like all we wanted to do was watch. We just wanted to have fun watching TV. Oh my gosh.
man, shows like Simpsons, Malcolm in the Middle. I'm thinking about like, yo, how are they gonna resolve this in 20-25 minutes, that type of thing.
Oh man, the runtime for these shows used to be so small. Like it was so crazy. Like it felt like it was an hour long for some of these shows because of the commercials, all the things that were like in the way of just watching like a show like just straight. It was the obstacles just to get to just to watch like just to get through a movie or a television series back in the day. Like it was man, it was wow. I don't know. Nowadays, you could just get certain channels, certain apps, you know, where you could just like no ads. This generation will never understand. Will never go through what we went through.
All right, so I gotta compare two characters right now. Obviously, personal favorite, of course, Franklin Saint or James Go St. Patrick.
Oh man, that's pretty close. That's
Different
very
situations, but I mean,
close.
you can still pick one over the other in some sense. Like, who do you think? I mean, overall package in terms of character, just acting makes you feel that kind of thing. Like, what would you say?
Mm,
So I got
here's
my
how I feel about it.
answer.
So these are two of my favorite characters ever in television, by the way. So it's gonna be hard for me to choose, but one thing that I gotta put in mind, that I gotta keep in mind, is the way these characters were written. You know, because it's like the way Snowfall, like the way Franklin Saint was written. It's like his went from an ascension to a descension. It went from he went up, then he went down. I mean, it's like,
And you're rooting for him the entire time.
yeah, it's like a character that's like you're rooting for. It's like a character that you. It's like a character that you want to see win. A character that does a lot, and it's like with James. It's with James St. Patrick. It's like you want to see him prosper as
We
well.
call him we call him Ghost on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I feel like you want to see him win as well. It's like you're rooting for him in a way where you just want to see him just live out his dreams. You just want to see him just ride off into the sunset.
Just
I
be
feel
happy.
like I feel like that's it with that topic. I mean, I feel like that's it. Like when it comes down to them two. In my opinion.
I like that. Okay.
But
Now,
what's up with you? How do you what do you think?
I mean, overall, as a character, full on, just you know, position, I'm gonna have to go with Franklin Saint, and most of the reasons, or all of the reasons, really what you said, but it's more really comparing himself to Ghost because, I mean, without going into much detail, I feel like Franklin has a better personality than Ghost in terms of being more. I don't want to say human, but more morality. You know what I mean? More sense of direction, more sense of where he wants to go, what he wants. And I feel like at the end of the day, for characters, when they start a show, it's kind of introducing us to what their goal is, and they Franklin, you know, just manages to pull that off. What they say, ascension to descension. Everyone goes through that. You know what I mean? Pitfalls of life. If you haven't, well, I mean, great for you, I guess. But when you go through the pitfalls, it's up to you to get back up. And I personally think that as an actor and a character, Franklin really has demonstrated that the best way. I mean, this doesn't take away anything from Amari Hardwick as an actor, as a person, even Ghost as a character. It's just more so that Franklin, I feel like, put more effort into showing us that what he needs to achieve and how he's going to achieve it, and puts it to motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like Franklin, like yeah, like he can in ways like he can his problem solving can involve just like him like using like having a heart, not in terms of like using like his head or just using his feelings.
No, yeah, it's
And
definitely like it's
and with James, I feel like it could like with me. I feel like they're just I don't know. It's hard because I feel like they're just too similar. Like in terms of like they're both like I feel like Franklin is more cold blooded, but like in a way like because obviously James like Ghost is he he cares. He's more caring. He would rather he'll leave like he'll leave less of a trail. While Franklin, is just more, he's just more destructive.
I feel like Ghost is more caring when he messes up or when he causes something to go wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could say that.
And Franklin, I feel like, is just always on alert, but always setting himself up to not mess up, if that makes sense. Like, it's always possible to make mistakes on both ends. Don't get me wrong, both people have, but at the same time, it's like I feel like Ghost's concern elevates when something that's not as important is at risk compared to things that are more important. But he goes through the least important stuff to the most important stuff, or it's an interesting. I don't know. It's just an interesting take. Again, this does not take away from Amari or anything like that, but at the same time, it's more so like, again, Franklin just demonstrates more as an actor, really, more as like a character for the whole show. Kind of makes you want to follow his journey from beginning to end.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like honestly, like in ways and like more times than not, like I do really feel like even though Power's been out 3 years longer than Snowfall has, like I've been watching like that's how long I've been watching Power for, longer than Snowfall, 3-4 years longer, but I do feel like Snowfall has better writing, better cinematography. Cinematography, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but
But
the
no,
actors, I feel like they're equally talented. You know, I don't think there's a, I don't think there's a disparaging, I don't think there is a disparaging. I don't think there's any disparaging competition there. I feel like they're in this. I feel like they're all in the same level playing field in terms of talent. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like and like it's just I feel like it was executed more for what it was. They executed it the right way. They executed it from start to finish. It was executed it like it was executed the way that it was supposed to be executed. You know what I mean?
yeah, they executed it perfectly at the end of the day. It's no flaw in any of them. I mean, like I said, this is not criticism to hate. Let's say one's better than the other. It's just more of an opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I meant to say. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I feel like with them two, it's just too similar. It's just, I don't know.
No, I
It's
don't
just
know.
like, especially when you break it down, like the gist of it is just like, man, it's just the dynamic of the best friend. It's just the
I
girl,
love
the love interest.
the
The
love interest,
parent.
friend, the parent. Yeah, exactly. You hit it right there. Those are like the central, like, because the whole idea of like business and family kind of keeping it separate, work and family, whatever it is, that's been a theme in these like major dramatic shows. And you hit it nail on the head. Typically, like, parents, love interest, that homie, the best friend that like has been introduced since the first episode. It's pretty.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like literally, like the first minute, the first 2 minutes, like no, like okay, okay, this is gonna be, this is gonna be like, even like in real life, like you have like a Batman and a Robin, like a yin and a yang.
Exactly.
It's that dynamic, that makes you that's relatable to everyone,
And even so, I think when you put me onto Power, and I remember every time I see like a character I'd recognize, I'll tell you, yo, I recognize this guy. I think we were talking about what was it, Rashad? It was Rashad Tate.
Lorenz Tate,
Yeah, Lawrence Tate. He plays
Lorenz Tate,
Lawrence Tate. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Was it Menace to Society? Right, that was his movie.
old dog, yes sir.
And hey, yeah, O Dog makes a return in Power. Or does he? We don't know. No, but
Bro, I fell out of my chair when I first seen him. I said, "What? I was
no,
like, what
I
the
was
hell is he doing here?"
yeah, because I don't, you know what I mean. This is the thing, like, like actors, like you see, I see in major movies like once or twice in my life. I don't see them anywhere else, and I'm like, yo, I love how you know shows that I've seen lately, like Power, especially including Snowfall, and I want to throw a shout out for Ballers too, because that put me on to another character from there as well. I can't get the who's the one
London
that
Brown. You're talking about Reggie, that
yeah.
play London. Yeah. Shout out to Ballers, by the way.
Yes, yeah, yeah, Ballers. No, great show, Dwayne. Anyway, but yeah, no, what you call it? That they use actors that some people don't know in the mainstream. You know what I mean? Like they're just there. You know what I mean, on a show like a background character or something like that. But Power and these other shows lately, or shows that I've been catching up to, at least in the past 5 to 10 years tops, have been great at using underutilized characters or underutilized actors anyway. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
great. I love seeing that shit all over the place. I love it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of entertainment, and that's the beauty of, I guess, acting and just movies and television. It's just you see somebody like in a small role, and then you'll see it expand in like a year or like a month, a few months. It's just like wow, like there's like it's a field where they allow them to grow, even though it has its cons. Lately, from example. Taraji P. Henson, about the pay, especially from Terrence Howard, the fellow actors and actresses of Empire.
Oh,
And then you would think like, wow, these are the highest paid actors, you would think, but and
I
then you
gotta
would hear you would hear the stories. It's just like, wow, like I guess, like some actors and actresses also came out and said that wasn't the case for them. So I guess it's just, you reap what you sow. I guess it's everybody, whatever they get, whatever roles they get or whatever they like get paid is, I don't know. I don't know if, we will never know, I guess, we're not in that field. We can only assume, but yeah, it's just those things.
I gotta ask. You mentioned Taraji. What do you think of Empire?
I mean, like I said earlier, how, the general public felt, at first it looked like it was going to be a driving force, of television, like the first season, in my opinion. It was, oof. I feel like it had a solid first season. It had a strong first season, in my opinion. And, I feel like season two it didn't have the same fire as season one, but It was cool. It was good. But
Well,
season three, that's when
yeah.
season three was. I thought season three was okay. It had some interesting storylines. But I felt like it's whatever you're looking for. It's what you're looking for. That's what you're gonna get. If you're looking for like screams, if you're looking for like thrills, you're gonna get the thrills. But if you're looking for like um, on par writing, like top tier writing, if you're looking for like cinematography, that's gonna be like in one shot, or that's gonna be shot in like the way like in video like old school videos, like not old school videos, but like the way like shows are shot now, like it's just it's just like that's not what you're gonna get if that's what you're looking for. But it just depends on what you're looking for, because it, it it's a show that has certain, you know it has its pros, but not too many. I feel like it had more cons than pros as the show went on.
Really?
Yeah, but and this is coming from somebody that liked it. This is coming from a former Empire fan. I mean, I started watching Empire before Power. Let's not forget. But once I got into Power, like it was just, yeah, it couldn't. Empire couldn't fuck with it. Nothing was fucking with Power at that time.
See,
Not
so
even.
before I go into a slight part why I disagree with you, get ready to put a face palm here. I finished I've not Power. I finished Empire back in 2020, fresh when the season, I think it was season 5, that was the
Season
last one.
six, season six, I believe.
All I remember is basically I caught up with the show in 2018 and started watching live from there. Point is, why am I looking at the cast now and I'm just seeing, I know the character Damon Cross. Why is that Wood Harris?
Yeah, you
How,
didn't know that was Wood Harris?
no, I had to Google image Damon Cross just to kind of remind myself. And I see him, and I'm like, I know this character because I remember from season. He was the
You
main.
didn't know that was Wood Harris until now?
No, I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't. I didn't. I
I
haven't
thought you
watched.
knew this. Oh, I
I
forgot we didn't talk about this. I forgot.
don't even think. I didn't. I mean, I know Wood Harris and other stuff, but I didn't think. I mean, paid in full
Yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah. We talked we talked about him, but we never talked about him in we talked about Empire too, and we
He was
talked
a
about
sleeper
Damon
in Empire.
Cross.
I think. He was a main guy for a bit, but I think he was a sleeper in most people's minds because Empire was just, I guess you're saying, not the best thing in the public eye at the
Yeah,
time.
but it just had a lot of stars. It attracted a lot of star. It had a lot of star attraction. A lot of heavy hitters have been on Empire. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
Like a
yeah.
lot of heavy hitters have came across Empire, but
Chris Rock on Empire? Yeah, could be wrong. Yeah,
Chris Rock was on Empire.
the
Yes, sir.
prison. He was in
Yes, he
prison.
was.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He was in the
Yeah, season two, he was.
wasn't didn't he?
He,
I remember he had a daughter in the show too, and that
I
was a
mean, to say the least, he guest starred in season two. Yes,
yeah. I remember. Yeah. Chris Rock. No, another great guy. I forgot about.
Yeah,
It's Chris.
legend. He took a hell of a slap, back in 2022.
Oh man, when was that again? 2023? Was it 2022?
February, January 20, sometime it was early 2022. I remember.
No way. It was 22. It had to be 2023.
Nah, this was 2 years ago.
Oh my
I
god,
remember.
was that long ago already?
Yeah,
All you
and
have to, when you go to Google and type in Will Smith, you immediately get the second like, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock at the Oscars, slaps Chris Rock, slap.
it's crazy because he got banned from the Oscars for like I
Yeah.
believe 10 years.
Oh, it has his own Wikipedia page too. Chris Rock, Will Smith slapping his name.
It got its own Wikipedia page.
I never knew
Whoa, okay, I did not know that.
that. This is makes it even better, honestly, with like how it's like they have a whole background section, the incident, the transcript. It's oh
Oh
my
my
god,
goodness. Stop lying.
it's right here. Okay, Rock, Jada, I love you. GI Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right. Much of the audience, including Smith, laughed while Pinkett Smith rolled her eyes in annoyance. Rock prepared to continue his speech. It's that was a that was a nice one. Okay, I'm out here. Sees Will Smith approaching him. Uh-oh. Richard? Rock used the name Richard as a reference to Smith's role as the titular character in King Richard. I never knew.
Oh my
The
goodness, bro.
Smith strode across the stage, slapped Rock on the left cheek, then turned around and walked back to his seat. The attack, which some assumed was prearranged comedy, startled the audience. Many noted that this act contradicted and jeopardized the calm, positive public image that Smith had built in his 3-decade career, which is actually true. I've never
You
before
want to
this.
know what's crazy? I never watch anything live anymore. I don't even watch award shows live anymore than I used to when I was younger. But for some reason, me and Yenatun, me and my older brother, for some reason, we
Redacted.
watched we were watching the Grammys just randomly on TV like live, and then we thought it was a skit ourselves because it was bleeped out. But then we watched it like on Instagram, on Twitter. Tense like 2 minutes later we hear the uncensored right away. I was like, wow, this man was oof. Wow, that shit was he was for real. And
I will.
then it's just wow. And also wait, what were you saying?
Well, no, I was going to say nowadays with award shows, Grammys, Oscars, whatever it is, Slammies, however they do it. Like I don't know how to explain it. So I just lost the thought immediately. Oh yeah, sorry. There's always something that's going on when you're not watching. I mean, I always have to catch it online, social media. It's like, oh my god, this just happened live, and it's like, oh wait, what just happened? Holy crap! Let me go see this real quick. And I feel like it's been happening recently. I think people are just trying to go viral, make a name, that kind of thing.
Literally, like I just couldn't. I was like, is this real? Like, did I just witness this like live? And then another thing is, I don't know if anybody caught this, but like that footage is gonna be available forever. That's one thing I applaud Chris Rock for is he didn't press any issue, he didn't press charges, like he just swept it under the rug. Didn't make a fool out of his family or nothing, he just took that slap on national television. That's wow.
Well, there's so many cartoon versions of this people drew up. I'm like,
Yeah, and then, did you see Chris Rock's brother like talk about it? Tony
no,
Rock.
what did he say about it? Was he livid?
He did a stand up about it, and then yeah, you could say he was livid. He just, he said, you slap a Rock brother, you're slapping all the Rock brothers, because he said there's not just one Rock brother. You know how many of us are there? I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay, his brother, because Tony, from what I heard, he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. So, I mean, let's just say Will is lucky that was Chris he slapped. It was nobody else because I don't think he would have done that to anybody else.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where, I mean, Will Smith stood on business, but yeah, no, Chris Rock, like you said, he handled it professionally. He's carried on for like professional on the show because it was live, wasn't it? It wasn't pre-recorded.
You talking about the Grammys?
Not the Grammys. It was the what am I saying? The award show that they were on. What is it? What is the show that they were? It was. I'm blanking on it.
Wait, for which one?
Oh, the Academy Awards. Why am I thinking? I'm thinking something else. Like, yeah, the Academy.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Oscars. I'm retarded. This
Yeah,
whole time we were talking about the Grammys. It was the Oscars.
yeah. Oh my gosh. See, why are there so many award shows? Why can't it just be the movie awards, the show awards, the music awards? Why the frick do we have to call it a Grammy? What?
There's the BET Awards. You got the BET Hip Hop Awards. You got the Soul Train Awards. You got the American Music Awards. Like it's just so many award shows, bro. It's crazy. So many movie awards too. You got the NAACP awards. You got the Emmys. You got the Oscars. You got the MTV Movie Awards, MTV Music Awards, the VMAs. It's just a whole lot.
Just saw this right now and get this, folks who are listening, because I did not know this ever in my lifetime. The name Grammy is a homage to the gramophone and its revolutionary impact on the music industry. It's that shape of the Grammy. That's an instrument.
That's where they got the name. That's where it came from.
Yeah, I guess since the Grammy Award ceremony in 1959, a statue was presented a gold-plated gramophone. Which, I mean, you see those things, but you never really think of it. Didn't Jay-Z pour some Douce or what was it, some alcohol down there? I remember, I don't know what year it was. It was a while ago, but it's not. I didn't see it as much as an instrument, but obviously you can't use it. Wouldn't see why. I mean, it's gold-plated.
What the heck? Wait, I think so. I think I seen that. Y'all, you talking about in the cup?
Yeah, he may have just wrapped it.
Yeah. I seen that. Yeah, when you said, "Blue, I got a sippy cup for you. Daddy got a sippy cup."
Yeah, a cognac. Yeah, the cognac in the trophy for a celebratory shot. Jay-Z, 1 month ago.
Yeah, I seen that. I was like, okay, Jay's. He wasn't playing
Jay-Z.
about that.
Let's divert for a second on music to Jay-Z. Like, wow, Jay-Z. That's all you can say, really, right? Like, with his career
Some
and everything.
some some might say some say he's the greatest rapper alive.
So, I sigh because it's alive. That's a bold statement.
That's just what some say. That's what a lot say, actually. A lot say he's the greatest ever, dead or alive.
I genuinely, dead or alive. Wow, that's a little too big of a bold claim. The best or one of the best?
That's what I be hearing, man. They be saying he's the best, dead or alive.
To say the best is to mean that you're above all. That's like, I mean, I feel like this topic's got to be saved for another episode because I can go for a long time on
Yeah.
why Kanye West is the greatest artist, rapper, singer, whatever you want to say of all time, dead or alive. We'll talk
Who?
about that at the time, though.
You said
Definitely.
Ye?
You know who I said.
Over Jay?
Yay over Jay.
Okay.
I know that's going to stir controversy in the slightest, but had to be discussed. Had to be discussed about that.
Okay. I guess that's a discussion for another day.
But at the same time here, I believe this could be a good wrapping point for a good start, would you say?
Yeah. I feel like we got some good work done today, you know?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is the end of the first ever episode of the Spot podcast. Again, as I said earlier, there's no real drop date or anything like that. I mean, expect stuff maybe closer to the weekend, of course. That's the prime time we want you to be relaxing and listening to our work. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, do you got any message to say, Head Mighty Young?
Shoot. I mean, just click on the handles, support, follow, share the Spot podcast,
Yep, we will be on Spotify, SoundCloud, and wherever possible, YouTube. All socials will be in all descriptions possible. Of course, Instagram, TikTok, the big ones, X, Twitter, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
Whichever y'all prefer.
Yes, sir. I'm Easy Young and Mighty Young, of course, and we out.
Peace.